One of my favorite parts of the week is when I get to have our leadership meeting. We have those on Fridays. We have kind of two different types of them, but that's really one of my favorite types because I know that during that time, I'm connecting with a group of people that I trust to engage, that I trust to build a business with, that I actually enjoy talking to. And I also know that these meetings are not just something where we go through an agenda, but we actually work to get things done. We try to solve real things. And you know, I've heard so many people say that they dread their meetings now and then. And I guess I would just challenge you. If you are a leader and you don't love your own meetings, I can assure you your staff doesn't love your meetings. And you really should look hard at what are you trying to accomplish and why are you having a meeting? Is it because somebody told you you had to do, or it's because of some things you want to accomplish? For us, we've worked on our meeting structure over the years, and about 15, maybe 17 or 18 years ago, we started doing a daily huddle. And a daily huddle, I think, in many ways has defined who we are. We took the practice from Jack Stack, who wrote the book, The Great Game of Business. We refined it on teachings from Vern Harnish. And now Patrick Lencioni teaches on the idea of a daily huddle. We do a daily huddle. It's about a 15 minute, not about it, it's 15 minutes. We start at 7:44, we finish at 7:59. And we're really regimented about starting on time and finishing no later than the end time. Many times we finish early because we don't have much to talk about. But we use that daily huddle to just connect. And for us, our entire leadership team is remote. So many people don't think you can build a culture remotely, and I'm telling you, you can. But it takes work. And during these leadership huddles that we have every morning, there's about 15, 20 people on them now. And it's very quick. It's just, hey, how's you doing? What's going on? Inevitably, somebody will give an update, maybe a personal update. Sometimes people will share a challenge they had yesterday, or they'll talk about something coming up today. Or they'll say, I need help with this. Or gosh, what do you guys think about this thing? Or who's available after the call to talk about this? But we keep it to very, very short, kind of relational building type topics. And then if there's topics that require more interaction, they become a separate meeting. And so we have these huddles, and then we might have separate meetings. And those separate meetings tend to be very topical in nature. Could be a tactical meeting for half an hour to solve a problem, or it could be an hour. But we're very focused on a specific problem. On Fridays, we have kind of two sets of leadership meeting. I have one meeting with the entire leadership team. It's about, again, 15 to 20 people. And in that meeting, we ask that everybody on the call prepares their part of a report. So we have a report. And then we use the meeting as pretty much an ad hoc to, we can review the report ahead of time, we can review the report afterwards, but we have just a half an hour, so it's tight. And we give people a chance to say, here's something you need to know about. I wrote this in the report, but you need to know this. Or I didn't write it in the report, I need you to know this. So in some meetings, somebody will take up 5 or 10 minutes. Other meeting, that same person might take up 30 seconds. But the point is we leave room for people to be able to do some things, but we keep it tight because the idea is everything that you really need to say should be in that report, and we review that. And then I have what's really my favorite meeting of the week, and that's our level 10 meeting. And that's with the senior leadership team, a small group, 8 to 10 people. And that is a 90-minute meeting. And that meeting, in fact, most of our meetings don't have an agenda. This does not have an agenda. It has a format, but doesn't have an agenda. So we don't go into the meeting and say we're going to talk about A, B, and C. What we do is we go in the meeting with a format saying we're going to work on this type of thing at this time and this type later. We followed this format. We built this format over the years from many different places, but most recently we took on EOS, which stands for Entrepreneur Operating System, also known as Traction. And Gino Wickman wrote a book about this, and he talks about this level 10 meeting. You're like, well, Tim, why are you calling it a level 10 meeting? Well, it's a level 10 meeting because the idea at the end of the meeting is when we ask everybody to rank the meeting, we want everybody to rank the meeting as a 10, that we had a level 10 meeting. And within this meeting, we have a construct of things that we do. We cover things like, first of all, just a quick segue, we call it. Everybody gets 30 seconds to give an update. Something positive personally, something positive business-wise. Then we go through metrics. We go through headlines. That could be headlines about a person in the business or an account. Then we go through our to-dos. Did we get the things done that we promised to do the week before? And then we go through what's called our rocks, which is our key priorities for the current quarter. Did we get those done? We try to get all of that done in the first 30 minutes. And we try to leave 60 minutes for what we call IDS. It's to work on issues. And it's not to just talk about issues, it's to identify issues, the I. It's to define the issue, the D. And then it's to solve the issue, the S. So IDS, identify, define, solve. And the idea of this is we actually put our issues in ahead of time, and then we do a vote. And as a leader of meetings, that's hard because I don't like when other people vote against me, but we actually vote on which issues are the ones that we think we need to tackle right now. We always have more issues than what we can tackle, but we do tackle the ones that we can. And in tackling them, we might identify an issue. The way we go through it is whoever raised the issue gets a chance to, now it's been identified, to define it. They get to define it. People get to ask kind of questions about, just to make it more clear, clarifying questions. And then we give everybody a chance to say what they think about the issue. Maybe it's deciding on investing in a marketing event. And we might say, hey, should we make this investment? And sales might say, oh, we have to have it because of this. And delivery says, wait a second, I think we'd be better off spending money over here. Marketing says, well, this is the big thing we want to do this year. Let's spend the money. Finance says, we don't have any money. How can we spend it? And we go around like that. And we ultimately come to a decision. It's almost never something that we vote on. And it's almost never something that I, as the leader of that meeting, says, well, here's what we're doing. It's almost inevitably that we come to this consensus that although we don't agree, this is the best path forward. Put another, we disagree sometimes, but we still commit with the best path forward. That's the level 10 meeting. And then the other type of meetings that we have, I talked about the topical meeting, and then we do kind of the business planning meeting, which is a longer meeting quarterly, or an off-site meeting at least annually. We try to do it twice a year, but at least annually. And in doing these things that we do in terms of these meetings, in every single situation, what we're doing is we're building relationships. What I know is that if I'm going to ask the team to go further and push harder and do more and serve our customers better, there has to be great trust. There has to be trust amongst everybody in the team. They have to trust me, but they have to trust each other. And then there has to be respect. Respect that the people in the roles that they're in can do their job. Once we have that trust and respect, we can have really contentious meetings. We can have meetings where we get angry. It's not uncommon that somebody in a level 10 meeting gets upset because they're so passionate about something. But they're passionate about and upset about something, not about someone. And there's a big difference. And if we can manage that balance in those meetings, what we find is the meetings are indeed the best time of the week. I encourage you to make your meetings the best time of your week. Make sure that everybody in the team looks forward to the meetings. Make sure that they're so engaging that you can't fall asleep. You can't mute your line. You can't work on something else because you're engaged. And when you do this, I'm confident that your team is going to feel more empowered, they're going to feel more engaged, and the results are going to follow. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day.